Hey everyone, it is March 28th, pretty late in the week, but welcome to another Brooklyn Baritone podcast. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in and listening, whether you're listening to the fresh output and distribution of this podcast or it's many months to years later. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this. Of course, this is Corey Ashley, as usual, talking about positivity, talking about things to make you get up and go get your life in the morning, every year. That's what it's about. And in order for you to do that, you're going to have to really understand your purpose. That is the topic of today's podcast. Purpose is basically what drives us. Now, I've been having a lot of talks, a lot of people around me, the missus, my family, co-workers, where I look to take apart our standards and get to the fiber of it, just getting past the layers and getting to the fiber of our being, of everything that we are about. Now, purpose is something that, of course, everyone wants to feel, but are you living up to your purpose? That is a question you have to ask yourself. And even when you may have the answer, you still have to put that question in the forefront of your mind and all of your actions. Purpose is what defines us. Purpose is what gives us definition, what we believe. So purpose is what makes us get up and do what we do. If you don't have purpose, you're going to feel aimless. You're going to feel lost. Purpose gives us that drive to build up ourselves and build up things around us and build up other people around us. Notice the key phrase I'm using is build, to construct, because if you don't really have purpose, the opposite is destruction, not construction. You have to have purpose, because you could be busy doing something, but are you putting your labors and your energies in the right things? Most of us do not have the proper purpose. Not saying that I was born with the God-given wisdom, because I had to go through a lot of bumps and bruises and the school of hard knocks like many other people as well. A lot of times what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So we got to talk about how to direct our purpose. What's the purpose? I talked about it in the past, in my past podcasts. And you have to have understanding of yourself. You must identify your identity, basically. We go to school, we study the 3 R's, the reading, the writing, and the arithmetic. But most of us don't really go through the process that's needed to really understand and discover who we are and what we're about and what's really in us. Because the most frightening thing that we could think of is going to our grave and not really making an impact the way we should have, the way we feel what we should have. It's a terrible thing to have gone through your whole life and then not really making the impact and the splash that you should have been doing, because you never realized your purpose. We all have innate, unique, and distinct gifts, talents, abilities, all those things, skill sets, all of those things. Most of us spend our time not concentrating on that, again, going back to how we were trained. But we can't just leave it up to the schools and the school systems, because we have systems in place mainly because people need guidance and we need proper laws, direction, structure, because most of us may not have that proper internal guidance or systems in place. Now, we place our value, unfortunately, in currency. How much money one can make, how much money one is worth, what kind of status is tied to that money. If we look a certain way, sound a certain way, it's why so many people are so caught up on titles. So many people are caught up in degrees. So many people are just caught up in specific industries. So many people are caught up in just certain kind of jobs. Because what we are learning when we are younger, not just in school, but around home, what we see in society, and what we see from other influences around us. And of course, one of the heaviest influences is entertainment industry, because billions, quadrillions, trillions of dollars, countless man hours are poured into perpetrating and promoting a certain mindset. Now, truth is usually stranger than fiction, and truth usually inspires fiction. So it's not just Hollywood or entertainment, but it's the world around us. Like I said, society places these values where we're supposed to live and look and sound and talk a certain way. So to put it in contrast, you can easily be going down a path that you don't need to be going. You can easily be utilizing your time somewhere where you should not be. Because I always bring everything back to our creator, God of the Bible, God of Abraham, of Moses, the Elohim, the father of everything. What we don't understand about the creator, our father, is that he is ultimate love and ultimate order. That's basically everything that envelops the father as simple as possible. And most people don't know how to wrap their minds around that because we just don't have a proper understanding and a proper relationship with him. If we don't have a proper understanding of the source of our life, our identity, then we can't really identify with ourselves, at least out the gate anyways. A lot of people come around to it. But let's get further into our purpose. Now, being that our source of life, our maker, who gave us our identity, he is ultimate love, ultimate order. Ultimate love means dominion. Dominion means you have unconditional care for everything and everyone around you to make sure everything is as it should be and better if possible. And ultimate order gives you the proper foundation. It gives you that standard or standards to follow. Now, when I go into ultimate order, ultimate love, that's what we should follow as much as we possibly can. Now, we're not perfect. We are not, but we should strive, at least. We're always going to have bumps and bruises. We're always going to have imperfections in ourselves in different ways, how we act, what we do, blah, blah, blah. But we have to understand what even sin is. Not just lying or cheating or adultery or drinking. That's just byproducts of sin. Sin basically is rebellion from the order of what it's supposed to be. Sin isn't just lying, just going out partying and being promiscuous. No, those are byproducts. Sin is rebellion. Not saying that, things that I'm about to explain, you're going to get punished for. A lightning bolt's not going to come and strike you down. Though we have to understand that everything has a specific design and everything has a specific function behind it. So if something is not used for the purpose it was designed for, it's being abused, being misused. If something is not being used for what it was, for the function it was made for, then again, abuse is being misused. Same thing as a car. If a car is not being used for what it's intended for, it's abuse, it's misuse, whatever it is. If you don't take care of the car, then, it's going to be off. Or instead of using the car to drive around a place, you're using it for a dog kennel. It's not going to work properly because it's not what it's intended for. So you're throwing it off. And then when things are not being used properly, it's going to impact everything around it. Same thing with us. If we're not really being utilized the way we were supposed to be, it's going to throw us off, and it's going to throw everything and everyone around us off. Now, going back to the sin thing, not the lying, cheating, and all that stuff, but the order that we have to understand and connect to and respect is that we weren't made to be stressed. And throwing things off the order can easily be overeating. Even though you're not an obese person, but we're not supposed to overeat. Because we overeat, that throws off the internal chemistry and functions and processes in our bodies to break down the food properly, even down to the type of foods that we eat. Doesn't get broken down properly. Things don't get broken down properly in our bodies, then our bodies are not going to be able to perform optimally. It's not going to be able to heal itself properly. It's going to spend more time trying to figure out what to do with these wrong foods. So you're throwing things off. Things have to be overcompensated. And this is where we get diseases from, where we get inflammation from, we get production of mucus and phlegm. So many things happen because of what we eat. Because our bodies are not designed to eat certain things and eat certain ways. So we throw things off. Even though we're used to it, it throws it off. So it kind of distorts the purpose for our organs and certain things. Okay? So now we go with your purpose now in life. When we're supposed to work, we're supposed to have a labor, but a labor of love. We are not meant to go to a 9-to-5 simply so to pay our bills. We are meant to know what's in us, to develop our strengths and our talents and our abilities to better and empower ourselves, thus resonating energy, and then also empowering and embettering everything and everyone around us based on our ability to grow and strengthen our seed in us, grow and strengthen our talents and our abilities. Because when you're not using your talents properly, you're not just cheating yourself out of opportunities, you are also cheating the world in which you impact of those said talents and abilities. So now we're at work, at a place, giving our life source, our life energy. Now, you hear people who do what they love, whatever it may be, a school teacher, a ballerina, someone who likes to engineer things, a firefighter. They will almost always tell you they don't feel like they're working. They're actually surprised that they're actually getting paid for doing what they love because they know what their purpose is. They've identified who they are, what they're good at and great at, and they've worked on it. And they worked on it, they watered the seed, put the seed in proper ground, and they allowed it to grow and germinate and blossom. When you have a good tree or fruit tree or anything, when it germinates and it blossoms, guess what? It grows, but then other people can enjoy the fruit of that tree. That's the whole idea. Now you have someone who puts their life energy in somewhere where they are not reciprocating what they're putting out. So as opposed to someone who's doing what they love and they put out and they grow more and they get back and they get back and they put out and they get back. If you're doing something that you're not meant to do or you don't like doing or you haven't found out what you're good at yet, all you're going to do is wear yourself out. You're going to keep giving and giving and giving, and very little or nothing is coming back. Then you're going to exhaust yourself because you're not getting reciprocity. You're not getting that fulfillment. So basically, what's happening is that you're putting out energy and you're getting nothing back. Much akin to you working out and you're not eating properly, you're not resting, you're going to break down eventually. Or you're just going to be tired. You're going to be worn out. So the problem is that we're focused on the wrong things. Now, I'm going to use another analogy. Vehicles. A hydrofoil. A vehicle that pretty much kind of hovers over smooth land and even water. Now, it's better suited to know that hydrofoil is made to go over water or smooth land. Now, you go across a rough and rocky path, even kind of mountainous, chances are you're going to get stuck, or you're going to have one hell of a time trying to go over that road. But you have to understand what you're made of, what's in you. Hydrofoils stick to the water, smooth lands. Don't go the rocky path. You're not supposed to be there. You got to know what you are, who you are, because the energy that you could be using can be easily be wasted, or you could have easily gone 4 times more further than what you're doing now because you don't know yourself or unwilling to really understand what you have in you and develop that in you. Because yes, to be stressed, I would say is rebellion against the order of things. Now, I'm going to say you sinning and you should go repent, but you need to reevaluate your life because this life has been given to you for a reason. Yes, for you to grow and cherish, but also to help others expand, to help being expanded by others. So you need to understand that just because you're working and you're productive by society's measures does not mean you are bringing true value to yourself or other people. So what does stress do? We got to overcompensate now because you're working somewhere where it's toxic. You're working somewhere where you don't feel any reciprocity of your energy that you're putting out and expulsing, and you're not replenishing it. That's what happens. This is why it says it's transgression from the natural order of what the Creator initially intended. People have gotten ulcers where the stomach lining gets burned out, get a hole literally in your stomach. That's terrible, painful. From what I understand. Never had it, thankfully. Hope I never do. High blood pressure. High blood pressure is terrible because it's stressful. And it also can lead to a stroke, where you could unfortunately have paralysis inside of your body. No one wants that. It got your heart getting excited all the time. You could be prone to having heart attacks, and people have gotten heart attacks on the job. Been hospitalized. Some people even died, passed away because of stress. Can also possibly lead, I don't know, if aneurysm. I'm not too sure about that. And at the same time, you can have weight gain. A lot of people are overweight because of the cortisol produced in their bodies from the stress, constantly being stressed. And that's a hard thing to shake. That's a hard thing to shake now because you're eating properly, think you're living properly all around, but you're probably stressed. And your body produces so much cortisol now. Now this is throwing your hormones, your chemistry, your body weight now physically out of whack. You could lose weight, okay, because of stress. You can lose hair because of stress. And also because of high blood pressure, you can also lose eyesight. Now, these are some terrible things that we have normalized because society says, well, you got to go to work. 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 Who are you working for? Are you working just to pay bills so you can hopefully retire one day and just shrivel up and die? I'll do more when I retire. You could be doing more now. Not saying work is terrible, but you're going to have to know your limitations. You're going to have to know yourself, know where you fit into the grand scheme of everything. And then stop cheating yourself. You have to learn to, yes, put yourself first, to develop yourself, because you can't be out here 40% of a person. You can't be out here 70% of a person and then still trying to help others. You're not whole yet. You owe it to yourself. You do owe it to the Creator as well. And you owe it to everyone you come in contact with. You need to get your priorities straight. You have to understand your purpose. You have to understand, what are you good at? What's that vision that you always had that you wanted to do? What is that thing that kept nagging you for days, for weeks, for years, for most of your life? What is that thing that's in you that you know you have to get out? It's a reason it's there. That business you wanted to start. That school that you wanted to finish. Maybe that venture that you've always wanted to do. That equipment, that hobby, that whatever it is, that class you want to take, whatever it is, you have to succumb, humble yourself to that's in you. Develop it. Start to develop yourself, and then develop everything and everyone else around you. Do not be the hydrofoil that's on rocky ground when you could have been smooth sailing for miles and miles and miles. You done went to your destination and went to other destinations. And then you're spending a lot of your energy and your time on rocky road, hardly going anywhere, being stuck. There's a lot of hydrofoils that are stuck on a lot of mountains and rocks right now because they thought that was the path to go, not realizing, no, I'm not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be over here. You will go through certain things where temporarily you go through environments, situations. Always remember these things are temporary. It's a step, if utilized properly, in the right direction of building you to be the better you tomorrow. Follow the natural order of things. Don't transgress the law any more than we already have. We already have more than enough things that we've done wrong from the natural order of what the Elohim, what the Father has for us. We don't need to go further and wallow in our own despair. Again, so much people out there that are doing what they love and they don't feel they work a day in their life and they're getting paid for it, whether it's a grand amount or a decent amount. And then you have people who are making good money, but they are miserable because that is not what they need to be doing, or that is not the environment they need to be in. Find your purpose. That will always be your compass of how you should develop yourself, your skills, your innate abilities. Can you sew? Then sew. Can you bake? Then bake those muffins. You are a good motivational speaker, then talk to all those who will hear you, man. Practice that voice. You're good with your hands? Well, man, go build that desk. Go fix that car. The more you practice, the more you build, the more energy you put out there, the more energy you put out there, you will resonate. People will see that. You will feel more fulfilled. And the more people resonate, the more people you attract. Whether you try hard or not, you keep doing you the proper way, it's going to come to you. It's going to come to you, man. This is a promise. This is the promise that the Father gave to you. You got to do it. You have something in you. Do it. Put it out there. Put it out there because it's going to come back to you. Whether twofold, tenfold, or whatever. But you have to know who you are. Know your purpose. Stop holding yourself back. Stop allowing other people in society to hold you back. And stop holding back the blessings that you have for other people out there. Okay? Remember, it's not about me. This is supposed to be a communal kingdom for all of us. We are all supposed to be royalty. Not domination over others, dominion over others, to take care of others. To put forth our best effort to make sure our brothers and our sisters, our kings and our queens are taken care of too. So we all can govern ourselves properly and be the best us. That is real royalty. That is real purpose. We come from royalty, so we need to step up and act like it. This is Corey Ashley, and thank you so much for listening to another Brooklyn Baritone podcast. Hopefully, I can hear from you guys more in emails, but you will hear from me definitely in the future. Take care, be blessed, stay tuned. Thank you for listening.